Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today as we get into a double upload. It's a double upload day, and why? Because we've got news for you to kick off this wonderful Saturday with, and later on you're getting the preview for tomorrow's blockbuster Super Sunday kickoff, which is Chelsea versus Manchester City. Now, that's going to be a very interesting preview, and I'm going to give you my honest takes on it. And who knows where I might shift, because the Tottenham result gave us a win. A win's a win. Could the same happen again? Make sure you're there later on. And to be there later on, you have to make sure that you're hitting the subscribe button and hitting the notification bell if you haven't done so already, in order to be notified of each upload. On top of that, hit the like button if you enjoy, and don't forget to check out the socials. They are on screen for you right now. New Instagram, so get rid of the old one, and rest of the socials in the description. Much appreciated. Let's get cracking. We're going to start off with an agent. An agent. Who's the agent? It couldn't be better. It actually could not be better. This agent is the perfect man to sort out a situation for us. What is it? Let the reinforcer come in. The guy that used to shut it down. The guy that we used to bring on in order to protect the lead, to get us the win, to get us over the line, to get us what we want. And he's coming in again. Who is it? John Obi Mikel. John Obi Mikel on Victor Osimhen, saying he's got the arrogance, he's got the personality. You can feel someone has walked into the dressing room, and that's what Didier had. My advice for him is to come to Chelsea. He said this on the Obi-Wan podcast, and for the Obi-Wan podcast, I'm basically plugging this guy every week now. I mean, John Obi, listen, get on the blower. Get on the blower and, let's sort something out. Because I'm giving you free advertising here. Listen, the second episode was Frank Lampard after JT, who was episode number 1. Incredible, tremendous content. Go and check it out. As a Chelsea fan, you will love it. It's a goldmine of insight and knowledge and just, a bit of nostalgia, but just some fantastic stories and deep analysis and insight into how Chelsea used to function. A third guest is Victor Osimhen. Nigeria here. Nigerian legend with current Nigeria captain and he is the captain, I'm sure. Victor Osimhen has to be. And current Nigeria talisman, should we say, Victor Osimhen. And he said this on the podcast, that his advice for him is to come to Chelsea. Now, the presence that he's talking about is key because, as he said, Didier used to have that. And if you go back a few months ago, Jose said something similar when talking about Victor Osimhen. He said he's got everything that Didier used to have. But the only thing that I would advise, that if he goes to England, dive a little less, because you'll get caught out. So don't go to ground too easy. He said if he doesn't go to ground too easy, he's got everything to be just as successful as Drogba was in England, because he's got all the attributes. We hear all of that, and we're not asking for, I know we had the comparisons of Jackson with Drogba and all of that, and I think there's a deep lying issue within Chelsea fans that we want another big successful striker. It doesn't have to be like Didier, but Didier is the example. Do you know what I mean? Didier was it, and we really haven't had anyone except for Diego Costa since Didier. So it's a case of we're screaming out for it. We are desperate. We are hungry. We are starving for a proper striker. So the comparisons always come in. They just come in. But that doesn't mean that we want a Drogba. Victor Osimhen, and I stick to this, I think has the attributes to come in and just smash it from day one. And we need someone of that caliber, someone of that tenacity. And John Obi Mikel reckons he's got it. John Obi Mikel went into more detail as well. Check it out. In relation to Chelsea, they're a young team. They're growing up. They need a bit of time to understand what it means to represent the club and play for Chelsea. For us, there was no room for losing. We had to always win trophies. I want them to feel like that too. This is the thing. This is what John Obi Mikel has nailed it in just 2 sentences in terms of how I feel and why I say what I say. Some people in the comments, and look, everyone's opinion is the opinion. If we all agreed on the same thing, right, life would be boring. So please, for the ones that disagree and ultra disagree, make yourselves known. Feel free. I welcome it, right? This is why I never block anyone. I never delete comments. I never do that because I'm not in that position. You've got your opinion, stick with it, not a problem. We can disagree, we can agree to disagree, right? And then there's a lot of people as well that agree with what I say. Much like I agree with some people and I disagree with some. But he is cemented in 2 sentences exactly why sometimes I come across a bit harsh. I come across a bit harsh sometimes, and I come across with just plain like, nah, I'm gonna go in for a grilling, right? And there's some people that say, no, Younes, take it easy, you're doing too much, right? Some people like, nah, you're being too negative. Some people like that, this is turning toxic, right? I stick to that. I stick to that way. If I look and I give praise where it's deserved. I mean, look at my thoughts on Conor Gallagher. I was critiquing him like crazy before. Now all of a sudden, he is changing the direction of that needle. You know, he is swaying the needle over. And all of a sudden, yes, he's playing how I want him to play, and he is growing and he's developing and he's doing good, and that's where I offer praise. Cole Palmer deserves nothing but praise, right? So I feel like for me, I'm fair. But I always hold and uphold the same standard. Even with these players that are developing and they're young and they haven't got a mentor or anything. Why? Because they need to learn one way or another what the expectation at this football club is. And I cannot go into a direction of, it's okay, we're gonna relax a little bit, we're gonna cut a little loose because, you know, yeah, it's gonna take them a little bit of time, so we're gonna take it a bit easy on them. No. Now, like I said, if I'm Pochettino, different story, right? I'm not looking to flip and grill them every single 24 hours and you know, make them feel like they're this small. That, of course, not. You have to instill a little bit of belief into them. But they have to also understand the magnitude of the football club that they're playing for. And I know that they're not going to go and win trophies tomorrow, right? They're not going to compete for the title. They're not there. We know that. But they need to develop the mentality and the hunger and that desire and that will to grow, to be at that level consistently. And it starts by having the right attitude and the right intention and the right mentality and the right urgency and the right intensity. And that has to be applied week in, week out, every training session, every day, whether you like it or not. So this is why I go in. Because if you come off the gas a little bit, you ain't winning anything. You can't come off the gas at a club like Chelsea Football Club. And these are young players, so they should have enough energy to be able to start giving everything that they possibly can and develop into that. But they need to, within themselves, also understand that this is Chelsea Football Club. We can't have anything less. Yes, we're growing, we're developing, we're going to make mistakes, but we need to have that mentality of, no, we're going to win every game. We have to go out and win every game. That's the mentality. It's not going to happen. But you know what they say? You know, if you reach for the stars, maybe you'll at least reach the moon. If I've paraphrased and not butchered that saying, but you get the gist, right? Aim higher than what you think you can achieve because you're going to get to somewhere respectable. So don't just, you know, accept and just go, no, it's okay. We're 10th at the moment. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. No! I throw that mentality out the window. It's goodbye. See you later. Because if you accept that, you ain't going to grow and you ain't going to develop. John Obi Mikel is spot on in what he says here by saying that I want them to feel like that too. And what did that mean? When he was at Chelsea, there was no losing. It was unacceptable. You can't lose. That same mentality needs to apply. Because right now, and look, I'd say more than ever, because we haven't got an example in the team at the moment. We haven't got a proper in-and-out leader. Thiago Silva is about to walk out the door, let's be honest. So I'm talking someone that's a senior within the club that is going to set the bar, set the example. JT used to do it. Lampard used to do it. Drogba used to do it. Cech used to do it. Ashley Cole used to do it. And then as a result, the rest... Essien, Mikel, Makalele, Carvalho, we looked at the others, Malouda, Kalou. I mean, even the second string were at a high mentality and a top standard because they had to. If not, you're gone. That needs to be set again at Chelsea because I feel like we've stepped off the gas. So what I heard in Poch yesterday was good, and I hope that he implements that mentality. And if we do, then that's all we can ask for. So let's see what happens. But that's John Obi Mikel, and fair play. And I hope that he can be that agent that's going to get Osimhen to Chelsea. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Cheers, John Obi Mikel. Now, let's move to Manchester City. They're looking like they want to come after one of our players. And you're not going to believe who. Maybe I'll put it in the title. Maybe. Maybe you already know. Maybe you don't. If you don't, well, let's get into it. Man City want to sign Reece James as Kyle Walker's successor. And correctly so, as CFC PYS has put, good luck City. It would be. I always use this example now because we're seeing a lot of frequency on this. It would be an international war crime to sell Reece James to Manchester City. You're basically going, here's the title. No. Absolutely. Hell no. Man City, you got 0% chance of getting this guy. I'd like to think. Like I said, if Chelsea even entertain this, they're crazy. I'd rather send him to Real Madrid. I'd send him anyway. I'd give him to Barcelona. And I don't want to help Barca, but I'd rather give him to Barca than to give him to Man City, a direct competitor who is winning winning trophies and winning the title every single season. Nah, no thank you. But Reece James, look, I have to be honest. I think down the line, if this form with Chelsea continues, there could be a situation where we might have to look into actually attempt to persuade Reece James to stay. Maybe his head could be turned. And I stress, I expect this from Real Madrid, not anyone else. But Man City, hell no. So City, good luck. Correctly so. We look elsewhere before we wrap up. Let's get into it. Manchester United, big development. Paul Mitchell is the favourite to become Manchester United sporting director and is fully aware of the situation. That's come from Fabrizio Romano. This would be a significant move, I have to say. And as sporting directors come, we're talking about one of the most established, respectable, reputable directors in world football today, right? In 2023. So that's definitely an upgrade in terms of what they currently have. 100%. So, and I think Paul Mitchell is being looked at because Jim Ratcliffe is the owner of Nice. Nice, who are top of Ligue 1, by the way. I have to stress, that's actually quite significant after the amount of games they've played. PSG are third and Nice are top, as Lyon sit in bottom. But because Nice is on the south coast, Monaco is in the same league. Monaco, I'm sure Ratcliffe is aware of the infrastructure of the French football clubs. He knows of Paul Mitchell at Monaco and the job that he's done over there. So it's no surprise that he's gone and targeted Paul Mitchell. And I can see this happening. I'll be honest, I can see this happening. And I would honestly say that on a footballing level, this would be a big help for Manchester United. So far, so good in terms of the initial first steps that are looking like is going to come from Jim Ratcliffe's footballing operations at Manchester United. Let's wait and see what happens. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And before we wrap up, big news coming from Saudi. Habibi. I've not said that in a while. Hey, Habibi, what is the latest in Saudi? What is the latest, Habibi? Give me. Paulo Maldini is the main candidate to become the new sporting director of Ittihad. The Milan legend will decide soon. That's from Fabrizio Romano. Now, as we know, Paulo Maldini, legend, absolute legend, got fired. Or did he leave? I think he got fired from AC Milan whilst they were literally in the midst of desperation. And it all kicked off over there. And he left. And now he's not got a job. Saudi have come in. Al Ittihad are looking to change their structure, it seems. They've sacked Nuno, their manager. It looks like they're going to be getting Julian Lopetegui, so that's going to be interesting to see. Maybe he'll do well in Saudi. It's Saudi, I guess, but not the top manager that I think that they would probably be wanting at this point in order to manage a Benzema and a Kante, etc. But Maldini coming in to be in the midst upstairs at Al Ittihad as a new sporting director would be significant, massively significant. And I think in terms of all the Saudi clubs, the first club that are getting themselves a top tier sporting director from European football. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think any of the other clubs in Saudi have that at the moment. So they're setting levels. You see, this is how everyone pushes each other. And this is how, in the long run, Saudi football is going to be a thing. It's going to be a big thing because people like this come into that game and then more come in and then more come in. And then all of a sudden you find that every single level at most clubs is just accomplished people that have done big things in world football. That just elevates Saudi football as a whole. Later on, the infrastructure comes and then the academies get better and then they start generating their own talent and then the league develops and then all of a sudden, boom, it prospers. So big move. Paulo Maldini, he is going to go and get the bag, I'm sure. Let me know your thoughts down below in relation to Maldini going to Al Ittihad and the possibility. And I will see all of you later on for video number 2 as we get into the preview for Chelsea Man City. So make sure you're there for that. In order to be there for that, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Much appreciated. Hit the like button if you've enjoyed this. Check out the socials. My new Instagram and Twitter are on screen, as well as everything else in the description. Thank you all so much. And I will see all of you later on for video number 2. Have a good one. I'll see you then. Take care, people. And peace.